The mobility rate report is important to all stakeholders who need to answer questions about the mobility of the student population in their school or district. Click each of the on-screen questions to learn more about this report. Mobility is defined as the movement of students into or out of public schools, districts, or the state. There are 3 different measures that capture mobility: intake rate, churn rate, and stability rate. The Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education calculates this information using data from the Student Information Management System, or SIMS, which is a student-level data collection system that allows the department to meet state and federal reporting requirements and inform policy and programmatic decisions. The department collects SIMS data from all districts in the Commonwealth 3 times each school year, in October, March, and at the end of the school year. This report shows data on 3 different types of mobility measures. The first is the churn rate, which measures the total movement of students in and out of the school or district during the school year. The second measure is the intake rate, which measures the number and percentage of students that enter a school or district after the beginning of the school year. The final measure is the stability rate, which measures the number and percentage of students that remain in the same school or district throughout the school year. The data is initially displayed for the most recent school year and for all districts in the state, but can easily be displayed for all schools by changing options in the Report Type drop-down menu. You can also use the drop-down menus to select a different school year or a different subpopulation. Additionally, you can sort the data in any of the columns by clicking the blue column header. The first click will sort the data in ascending order from lowest to highest. A second click on the same header will sort the data in descending order. By clicking the name of any district listed on the report, you will be taken directly to the Mobility Rates report for that particular district. This report displays the churn, intake, and stability numbers and rates, so you can easily compare each student subgroup against every other, or against the total student population. Drilling down is a great way to move through the various profiles. Click the on-screen indicators to learn more about the various mobility measures. For further details and explanations, see the Annual Report on Student Mobility on the ESE website. To learn more about the SIMS reporting periods, you can view the data collection schedule. You can also learn more general information about SIMS data from the SIMS User Guide. When you're finished exploring the various indicators, click Next to continue. How you use this report will differ, depending on whether you are an administrator, a teacher, or a member of the community. Click the icon that best matches your role to learn more. As a school or district administrator, this report can provide you with valuable information about mobility rates in your school and district, and how these rates differ for various subpopulations. Before you dive in, it's helpful to identify questions that can guide your exploration of the report and your analysis of the data. You'll want these questions to reflect your unique interests and needs, but the questions shown here can get you started. For example, you can use this report to identify patterns in student mobility data throughout your district. How has your district's intake or churn rate changed over time, and what could be some reasons for this? How does your school or district compare to others in the state? As an educator, this report can provide you with valuable information about mobility rates in your school or district, and how these rates differ for various subpopulations. Before you dive in, it's helpful to identify questions that can guide your exploration of the report and your analysis of the data. You'll want these questions to reflect your unique interests and needs, but the questions shown here can get you started. For example, you can use this report to determine your school's intake, churn, and stability rates, and think about how this might have an impact on your instruction. Determining patterns in mobility rates can help you identify students who are likely to need supports due to high mobility. As a parent or member of the community, you can use this report to learn more about the mobility rates in your child's school and to determine how these rates differ for various subpopulations. Before you dive in, it's helpful to identify questions that can guide your exploration of the report and your analysis of the data. You'll want these questions to reflect your unique interests and needs, but the questions shown here can get you started. You might be interested to see how the mobility rate in your child's school compares with rates in other schools in the district. You can also use this report to focus only on your child's school and to see how the mobility rate differs for various subpopulations. You also may want to learn more about your district's enrollment as compared to other districts in the state over time, or on additional data points. If so, the District Analysis and Review Tools, or DARTs, are excellent resources to explore. Try using the DART report for enrollment to compare the number of students enrolled over the last 5 years in your district, in a comparable district, and in the state. For educators who have secure access granted by their district, Edwin Analytics provides several reports for more detailed analysis.